Let's work at it. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Hey, everyone, how you doing? Hey, everyone, how you doing? I don't know if anybody's here. Uh, I got a new camera, and I gotta train myself now to look at the camera, not the screen. Um, I don't. Probably most of you know nothing about me. Very little about me. Uh, I was born in 1948. I'm a baby boomer. I was drafted in the military in 1966. I was discharged as a veteran in '73. I'm 70% disabled, trying to get 100% from the VA. But since I got out of the military, uh, I've done a lot of different things. I get bored doing the same thing. I can't see how people can do the same job for 30 years. I'd be bored to death. I'd shoot myself. So I've done a lot of different things. And one of the things I've done is I took journalism in college and worked for some newspapers in California, worked for some newspapers here. I live in San Antonio, Texas right now. And I grew up in Europe. My dad was in the Air Force, and I spent 9 years growing up in Europe before I graduated high school. I actually graduated high school in France. Um, and I learned to speak French. The French teacher, who's actually French, told me at one semester she told everybody in the class what they need to work on. It came to me and she says, "You know, your pronunciation is perfect. No one would ever know you're not French, but your grammar stinks." So I actually learned French better out of the classroom than in the classroom. But I was born in the United States. I'm an American. I speak English. That's my primary language, and it just saddens me to to hear people who were born in this country, raised in this country, have a high school diploma, even college degrees, and they still do not know how to speak their language correctly. They don't know how to speak English correctly. I've met Europeans that speak English better than Americans, and that's just a real shame. So I just wanted to point out some things that y'all need to work on. Yeah, I say y'all. I live in Texas, to pick it up. Um, I need to talk about some things you need to think about. Okay, there are many things. One of the things that just amazes me is how millennials, people who graduated high school in the '90s and after the turn of the century, um, know so little about the world. I mean, when I graduated high school in 1966, back then there were no computers, there were no cell phones. If we had to do research, we had to get our parents to drive us to the library, and we actually had to look up things in books. We actually do some research. There were no printers. We had to type our term papers out. We had to type it out with a typewriter. If you made a mistake and you tried to erase it, if you erase it to the point where it was a smudge of toilet paper, you have to tear the paper out and start all over again. Um, we worked a lot harder to graduate from high school than people do today. And there was no today nowadays. High schools will graduate people who don't qualify to graduate just because the government gives them money for how many people they graduate. So they'll graduate. Excuse me for saying this. They'll graduate a moron he graduates from 12th grade, but maybe has a 7th grade education, just to get more money from the government. So now you've got these people going out into the world who don't even aren't even smart enough to get a high school diploma. They were just given one. Um, and you would think that with the computers today and everything known to men is on the internet, that it would be so. I'm sorry, I smoke. The medication I have to take because of my disability, I can't drink a lot of alcohol, and I've never done street drugs. So this is my one vice, and this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Anyway, so um, it's a shame that all this knowledge that we have on the internet, and you got people, in high school, you ask them where a certain country is, you ask them what are the three branches of government, and so on, and they don't know squat. I mean, I've seen some really stupid high school graduates or people in high school it's really stupid. Um, and when I graduated, my class, our class was a lot better educated, knew a lot more than most of the high school graduates do today. And that's a shame to think that we're turning our future over to people who are dumber than we were. Now, a lot of us were dumb, but there's even dumber people today, and that's a shame. Um, there are many things I can talk about. This is just off the cuff. Okay, I don't have a script, and I don't have thousands of dollars worth of equipment like so many YouTubers have. And this is just me at home doing a simple live stream for a while. But one of the things that people say is when something's going to happen, they say, "I can't wait." Now think about that. You're saying, "I can't wait. I cannot wait." So what are you going to do about it? You got a time machine in your purse? You got a time machine in your back pocket? You're going to jump in this time machine and take off and go into the future? You have no choice but to wait. You can't do anything about it. You have to wait. So instead of saying, "I can't wait," the proper way to say that would be, "I can hardly wait." You have to wait. You have no choice. So see, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait till that happens. If you say, "I can't wait," am I going to watch you get into a time machine and zoom off into the future? So that's it. Don't say, "I can't wait." Say, "I can hardly wait." That's something that's a big mistake that people make. Um, Another thing that people, there are words that sound the same. Your. There's Y-O-U-R, and there's Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. The Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is a contraction of two words, you are. Your, Y-O-U-R, is a possessive word, meaning your car, your cat, your airplane, your clothes. This is something you own. So to say to someone, to write out someone and say, "Oh, you're very tall," but they spell it R-Y-O-U-R. That's wrong. You graduate from high school and you don't know the difference between those words? That's a shame. How about there? There implies a location. Their is possession. That's their car, that's their house, that's their dog. And then there's They apostrophe Re, which is another contraction. They are. And it's a shame for me. It's a shame, and I get disappointed when I see people use the wrong word, and they don't even realize they're using the wrong word. They don't even realize it. You have to know those three words. What do those three words mean? Do you know what a dictionary is? Have you ever used a dictionary? Do you know how to look up the word in a dictionary? Most cell phones have a dictionary on the phone. It's very simple, much simpler than it was when I had to go to school. We had to actually thumb through a book. But you have a dictionary on your phone, and you should look up these words. Another one that just makes me just cringe is loose and lose. And so many people say, "Well, you're going to lose this game." And they spell it Loose. You're going to lose this game. Loose means something that's not tightened. Like there's a loose nut on the road. you know, the, the, the clothes on me are loose. I've lost weight, so they're loose on me. Okay? That's different than lose, Lose. Lose means not to win. So when you say, you're going to lose this game, and you're spelling it Loose. Moron. You don't even know. You have graduated from high school. You got high school education. You don't know the difference between the word loose and lose. It's just things like that just makes me shake my head, and say, how can these people be so dumb and even have high school? I mean, even have college degrees, and they still don't know these words. The thing you have to understand is when somebody meets you, they have three ways to assess you: the way you look, the way you sound, and the way you write. I have a dumb finger. So if you look like a slob, you're going to be perceived as being a slob. If you speak like someone who's uneducated, you might be educated, but if you speak like someone who's uneducated, you're going to be perceived as someone who's uneducated. And if you can't write or squat, and people read what you write, they're going to think of you as a moron. If I were, I've been a supervisor in several companies since I got out, and if someone submitted an application to me and I read, they'll say, tell me a little bit about yourself, why are you applying for this job, and so forth, and I'd read it. And if they can't spell, if they can't even use the right words, how am I going to give them a job that requires them to write reports when they can't spell and they don't even know what words to use? That's what the words you use. That's a reject. I don't need somebody who can't spell. I don't need somebody who doesn't understand the English language and they're born and raised and educated in this country. So, you're perceived those three ways: the way you look, the way you speak, and the way you write. The more intelligently you speak, the more intelligently you will be perceived, in the same way with writing. So this is just a brief live, stream, just to get you people who have graduated from high school, just kind of learn your language. Learn your language. Learn what correct word to use. And learn how to write. And I don't even know if they teach English in school anymore. Because the people that graduate from high school know so little about their own language, and they know so little about it. And just all I can do is shake my head and say, man, here's a person born in this country, raised in this country, educated in this country, and they write and speak like a moron. And that's just a real shame. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Um, as soon as I see that, as soon as I see a mistake like that, I immediately make an assessment that this person is not intelligent. And it's just a shame. I had to get that off my chest. You guys, it's such a real shame. You have a good day.